Hello and welcome once again to Jacob's Toys 5-minute figure reviews. Please do like, share, subscribe and all of those things. All support to the channel is very much appreciated. I have to say a huge thank you to my friends over at Diamond Select Toys for sending me over this very awesome Marvel Select Taskmaster for me to have a look at. Now, this is Taskmaster from, of course, the Black Widow movie. Now, what's interesting is on the back of the box, it actually refers to Taskmaster as a he. So whether or not this was put into production before the film came out, who knows, but it does refer to him as a he. And the anatomy of the actual figure looks very much like a male as opposed to a female, just like in the chest plate and stuff like that. So yeah, either way, it's very cool. Just a little detail that I picked up on. Now the figure itself is very nice. There is a double jointed knee in both legs. There is also kind of a hip pop so you can kind of get those legs into a better position. There is a chest kind of bit of articulation there, but because of the chest plate it doesn't work overly well, so that's not great. There's no waist swivel, there's obviously a neck swivel, there's one point of articulation in the elbows, and of course you've got the shoulder articulation and the wrist articulation as well. But there is enough articulation in this figure to get it into some good poses. Now one thing that I must admit, and I say this about every single Diamond Select figure that I look at, the detail on the sculpt is phenomenal and the accessories are always very cool as well. This one in particular comes with a very nice bow indeed. It's the signature bow that Taskmaster uses in the film, as well as Taskmaster's signature shield. Two signature weapons, you see. There's an interesting clip here. Not seen this type of shield before, but I guess that goes over the kind of forearm and you put the hand back on, but we'll have a look at that in a minute. Also comes with the sword. Now the sword is quite small, I'm not going to lie. It's not as big as I would expect. Also comes with two very cool arrows, but the sword is the same size as the arrows. Now I love the Diamond Select arrows because they have this kind of little bit at the end that you can kind of put into the finger grooves as well. Speaking of finger grooves, it also comes with a handful of additional hands. A handful of additional hands, you see what I did there? Let's try to get the shield on anyway. So just pop off the hand there. I'll put it onto the, actually I'll swap it around. Let's put it on the other way. Pop the hand back on. Now the hands do pop on and off very easily. This is something that in older Diamond Select figures was a little bit of a sticking point, but they are very easy to pop on and off now. So you can change those hands around with no problem whatsoever. I'll put the sword in to start with. Let's have a look how they look with the sword. Now even though it is smaller than I imagined, it doesn't actually look that bad. It actually looks quite in scale, which is a bit odd because it looks very small when it's not in her hand. But yeah, it doesn't actually look as bad as I thought it was going to look. But that's a very cool look for Taskmaster. You've got another hand here to put a bow in. Let me just try to mess around with that. But yeah, overall, like I said, the sculpt on these figures, the Diamond Select figures, is always really nice. There's loads of attention to detail. Speaking of that though, unfortunately, it doesn't look like we've got... Oh no, you can put the arrows in those fingers, that's fine then. These are also kind of like the Black Panther claws where she does like that Black Panther kind of thing with his hands as well. So yeah, I mean overall it's a really nice figure. Now the film came out a little while ago, came out a couple of years ago now. Obviously it was scheduled to come out ages ago. So this figure is cool if you're a fan of the film, if you're a fan of Taskmaster. Personally I quite liked Taskmaster in the film. So I for one am very pleased to be able to add this to my collection. The backpack's very cool. Now all I would say about the backpack is there's no slots. Now Diamond Select are usually quite good for kind of having a place for everything to go, but there are absolutely no slots or clips or anything like that, and that's a shame. I think it would have been nice if they'd kind of put a slot maybe in the back so that you could put the sword in it, or a clip so you could put the sword in the front, or even so you could attach the bow or the shield or something like that. I just think it would have been cool to kind of, you know, fill Taskmaster up with all these accessories and kind of have them all in that backpack, because that would have been nice and it would have saved them kind of going into a box. But as I said at the beginning, you can kind of move her around into a lot of different positions. Very, very basic position here, but you can kind of get the idea of using the bow. Now the only thing I don't like about the bows are the kind of plastic strings, like the plastic, I don't even know what it's called on a bow and arrow, but the bit that's essentially made out of rope. It's just a shame. It just kind of ruins the aesthetic of the figure on display, in my opinion. But the actual detail of the bow is really nice. So yeah, you can get them into a handful of different positions. The sculpt is really nice. It's got a lot of attention to detail. Overall, this is a really nice Diamond Select figure, and it's definitely on their new kind of version of figures because the articulation is really good as well. So yeah, overall a really nice figure. Really pleased to be able to put it on my shelf. Thanks once again to Diamond Select Toys for sending it over. Do go and check them out, go and check their website out, and you can order this figure yourself. And as always, please do like, share, subscribe and all of those things, and I'll see you soon.